Hello and thanks for checking out ChartGuys.com. We're proud to be one of the most successful technical analysis communities online, teaching you the skills to become a more confident, effective, and informed trader. Join our community of hundreds of analysts worldwide working together to learn the charts, generate profit, and achieve financial independence. For access to daily live chart analysis and market coverage, a thriving chat community, along with dozens of hours of exclusive educational materials. We look forward to seeing you. Let's check out some charts. Everyone checking in on the MJ sector, where we are looking at names trying to shift short-term momentum. The market saw a bounce day today, but just a daily inside bar on the S&P 500. A little bit of a pullback here in most of the sector, and some shorter-term bear breaks on some US names, which we will look at in just a second. I did make an initial scale-in entry into CGC to be looking for a play off of 2134 support. Original game plan was an entry this morning in the 2260s, and I was going to enter a second position in the 2180s if we kept dropping down. We did drop to those levels. Had I gotten that fill, I'd be right around break even right now, but honestly, Tesla took my full attention with the volatility and day trading. I traded Tesla 45 plus orders today, and it got to the point where the profit I was seeing in Tesla make this position pretty much meaningless to me. So I'm staying with the game plan. I have a partial entry. It's a small position because the space before the stop loss is a solid chunk away. It was about 4% or so. So still using 2134 as a stop. I only have an initial small starter position. If we were to drop down and break 2134 tomorrow, that would give back about 10% of my Tesla profits today. So again, pretty small priority trade for me. But I do want a little bit of exposure in case the S&P 500 is able to recover from these levels, because that means a weekly higher low has been set, and I currently have no long exposure in the market. So I figured CGC, looking for a weekly higher low, if the S&P 500 can give us a weekly higher low, would be a decent spot to be looking for an entry off of 2134 support. So we'll see if it ends up playing out. We need an hourly trend change. Little bounce into the end of the day. If we drop down and break 2176 first thing tomorrow, 2134 is the next level. We are going to have to see some bounce follow through and then an hourly trend change if we're going to be confident in a daily higher low being set. So at this point, I would have to see short-term RSI levels oversold right above 2134 for me to add a second position based off of that support level. Otherwise, I'll just stop out on my small order and get back to patiently waiting. APHA has not bottomed yet. Every single day, still a lower high, closing near the low. 452, our short-term support, is in play now, and after 452 is 438. So APHA is still a lead bear with every bull move just leading to lower highs. ACB, a little bit of a shift. They had news today about being approved for some, I believe it was manufacturing in the EU. Higher low on the daily, and now we have to break 202 after closing at the high of the day. Little uptick in bull volume. If 202 can break, it is a daily trend change, giving us a weekly higher low. So that's exactly what the CGC bulls are hoping for, but ACB, with a little bit of a news bump, is closer to seeing it happen. So CGC, that would be like if CGC was on the verge of breaking 2440, which is a good bit away at this point, about 8%. So ACB is short term now, one of the lead bulls in the sector after being a lead bear in the sector for quite some time. It switched roles with APHA in the short term. Still have to break 202, but after 202, we're looking at 212. And as far as the short term setup, this one is the best one that the bulls have going. Cron already dropped to a lower low. So maybe that means a higher percent chance that CGC is going to drop to a lower low as well. Daily inside bar, but after 7 psychological support, we're looking down at 663 as the next level, and anything under 785 is just a daily lower high. OGI has to hold 246. If that level breaks, gap to fill is 226. And again, it would just be another point in favor of CGC, likely to break its support as well if everybody else in the sector is doing it. Hexo broke its pattern of a lower high every single day with no real follow through. Could this be a daily bear flag? Absolutely. Have we changed the hourly trend? Absolutely not. Just a base of support at 124, broke some short-term resistances, but hard to see clear trend changes on penny stocks where every little tick is a clear level. Either way, we're just looking for a daily lower high on this bounce. VFF building a base. Let's see if we have a 4-hour equilibrium here. And we do. Low, high, higher low, lower high, turning off extended hours to keep it clear. Higher low by a penny. Anything under 573 is just a lower high staying in this range. A 537 break is a clear bear break. So if we cannot break 573 resistance tomorrow, we are going to look for this to tighten up one more day, and I would bet money that we get a break Wednesday if we do not break tomorrow. Labs trying to bounce as well, daily inside bar. If we can break the inside bar bullish by getting over 301 tomorrow, again, just looking for a daily lower high, but at least putting a short-term stop to the downside bleeding. Still in a pattern of a lower high every single day for 12 days now. That pattern has to break for the daily bounce to get going. VLNS, nice bounce day. Anything under 376 is just a daily lower high. 4-hour inverse head and shoulders setup if we can get a bit more bounce follow through and then fail at 376. We'll be watching for the inverse head and shoulders. So that's the Canadian MJ space. Again, not a whole lot to get excited about. ACB is it, but obviously if you're an ACB bull, you want to see all the other names in the sector with some strength as well, and we don't have that right now. So let's see if ACB can go it alone. And if not, let's see if these bulls can hold, at least CGC has to hold 2134 or the daily downtrend continues. So USMJ, we have the primaries tonight in Iowa. If Bernie Sanders wins, are we going to see the MJ sector respond? Maybe. I don't think it'll be significant because where we stand on these daily charts, they're not positioned well for even a solid green day to mean much. IIPR is the best of the bunch. Daily high or low, trying to form at 88.92, double top at the high of the last 2 days. If 93.75 breaks, our daily high or low is set at 88.92 and we're looking right back to our recent high. If the inside bar breaks bearish, then our daily high or low has not been established yet. Cureleaf. So a lower high has now been set. So I'm viewing this as our good friend, the equilibrium. Lower high is set, and we're now looking for a higher low compared to 811. If the sector were to respond bullish, breaking 952 would be a nice little short-term bull break. But most other names not positioned too well. CWeb, lower high and lower low on the daily. Anything under 1089, just a daily lower high. Only hope for CWeb at this point is a weekly higher low compared to the all-time low. And then we need a weekly trend change, and that requires a 20+% move, a 20% plus move to change the weekly trend from here. And there's no sign of a bottom being set at this point. Clear lower highs on the daily as a guide. TRUL, bear break of $14, which was our short-term support. Now we're looking at the 2-day time frame and the broader equilibrium. Our lower high has been set. Low of the short report, high of the bounce, higher low, lower high, scouting a higher low compared to 1292. Again, bull reaction to any primary doesn't really do much with this current setup. CL is weak, fading back down towards 745. Bulls haven't done much at all in over 2 weeks of trading. Weekly time frame here, not a whole lot of clarity, just all about 745 support at this point, and I consider anything under 866 as a daily lower high. IAN, still fairly weak. Bulls have to hold 177 and break $2 to shift short-term momentum. We're looking for a weekly higher low to form, but we have to get over $2 for that weekly higher low to be set. HARV, choppy, lack of clarity, lack of volume. Weekly chart, bulls trying to form a higher low at 352, have to see a break of 405 to say that weekly higher low has been set. In GTII, also looking for a weekly higher low, no sign of it being set, and on any bounce we're looking for a daily lower high compared to 1326. So still not a whole lot of hype in the sector. If you want to see some slow and steady juice being added to the sector, continued wins and polls in favor of Elizabeth Warren or Bernie Sanders is your best bet for a short-term bullish catalyst. But it's not the kind of act now bullish catalyst. It's just a slow, steady bit of information as we continue to shift probabilities as to what's most likely in November of 2020 when the election comes around. So overall, bulls have a lot of proving to do. Let's see if ACB can lead the way, trying to change its weekly trend after a lot of other names have already done so. And other than that, we'll see what comes out of Iowa and how the market responds to it. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Do good things out there. We got some seeds over the weekend, which means party time.